Hi everyone, I am Elena Yang, a 20-year-old college student and content creator who's studying in Boston, and over the past year, I recorded 365 videos, so today I'm here to share the lessons that I've learned along the way. I'll be doing this while doing my makeup. First of all, I think that consistency doesn't necessarily bring you success, but without consistency, it is guaranteed that you're not going to succeed. I think just using my YouTube channel, for example, in comparison to other creators and other people who are doing it really well, I still have such a long way to go just because in the last year I've only gained around 940 or 50 followers to what I have so far, and I'm still aiming for 1,000 followers, which I hope is gonna come really soon. But I also think that the first year of growth that's relatively slow in my opinion doesn't define me, because if you do it more and more, you're only gonna get better at the skill. And the good thing about doing content creation is that you can only go up from 0 followers, which is, I guess, looking on the bright side. And so after the first year, there's gonna be cumulatively more experience that I get, and I hope that that is going to elevate my content more. Also, I'm just curling my lashes right now. Even though consistency doesn't bring you results, just getting started and being consistent is already really hard in the first place. Over the past year, there are a lot of times where I just stop posting for a week or two and then I start posting again. It's happened a couple times, but then every time I go back into the cycle, the time frame kind of shortens and then it becomes not posting for 3 days because I get discouraged, but then getting back into the posting grind again. And so the feedback loop kind of shortens, which is also a good thing because the more I do it, the more I learn how to be consistent. I think consistency is also a skill. It's not something that all of us are necessarily born with, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it and the more consistent you will be. This would also translate into anything else that you're doing in the world, whether you just want to find a corporate job or whether you want to get into shape or whether you want to have a good sleep routine. It's all about doing it consistently, and so I put a lot of emphasis on consistency on my channel just because I think that you're already halfway there when you are consistent, even if you don't see the results right now. Another example of this is that I recently just started the 7-day challenge of me going to the gym 7 days in a row just because I've been in such a huge slump, and although I've been posting videos every day, I felt like I wasn't switching up the content a lot and I wasn't trying out different methods that work. And so I told myself that if I do one thing right, I'm gonna feel better about myself, I'm gonna have better self-esteem, and pretty much everything else is gonna go smoother. So I did this 7-day gym challenge where I would post this on my private story every day, so it's only me seeing it. But I would just show up at the gym every single day. I don't even care what I do there, whether I take a nap there, whether I just use that gym sauna, or whether I just take a shower there. It doesn't matter, but I forced myself to show up at the gym. And after 7 days of being there for 1 hour straight every single day, I already feel so much better about myself, which is why this week my challenge to myself is to film long-form content for 7 days in a week, because I think that I still need to be more consistent and more action-oriented with the long-form content that I do instead of only short-form content, since those are easier to make for the first year. I've had a lot of days where I only make short-form content, but another thing about content creation is that you want to diversify the types of content that you make, and that is how you build up your personal brand rather than just one thing that you are known for. Although a lot of people vouch for being in a niche, which I also agree with, I still haven't found my very specific niche within the first year, which is okay. But one of the good things about diversifying your content a little and doing a lot of trial and error when you're starting out as a content creator is that you get to know what you enjoy making, and also throughout time your audience will tell you what they enjoy seeing from you. Where's my makeup brush? That's why I didn't want to be constrained so much within just one niche for the first year, just to see what sort of content that I do the best, what do I enjoy, and what does the audience want. And I think that there's this Japanese word called ikigai, probably ikigai, but the meaning of this word is that you find your passion, you find what people need, and also you find what makes you money or something like that. There's this triangular thing where when you find all three, that's the sweet spot that you want to be in, and that's where you can really succeed a little bit more effortlessly. So I'm still trying to find that within content creation, but I think so far just making videos almost every single day have gotten me into the habit of doing the thing. Like, I seriously feel like my life is a lot more empty if I were not to do it for 3 weeks straight or something like that. And it truly feels like content is something that I cannot live without anymore, because whenever I do something, whenever I eat food or whenever I hang out with friends, and see interesting things in my life, the first thing that comes to mind and my instinct is to document my journey now. Especially as a young person, I think that there's a lot to share about my journey because there's a lot of growth along the way. And I am not too young because I'm already 20, but neither am I really old. And so that's why I think that building an audience from such a young age can really help elevate your entire career experience and people who can help you, the type of people you can inspire and provide value to. It's just a long-term compounding effect that you get throughout doing this for many years, not just 1 or 2 years. And I don't know why now I'm starting to actually sweat while I talk. Fun fact, I never thought that I would be a YouTuber or do social media content on the internet, especially when I was seeing all sorts of content when I was younger. I told myself that I was just not cut out for this because I am very camera shy, and during the early days of making content, I seriously cannot speak to the camera while there's other people around, or even if there's just someone in the room, whether that's my mom or my closest friend. I simply cannot speak when there's another person. Even when I'm just in front of my camera, I used to freeze for 2 minutes straight before I can speak for 1.5 minutes, and then I go back into freeze mode again. And right now I still do that many times. There's a lot of cuts that I do while editing and behind the scenes that you guys don't get to see because I take such long pauses to just think about what I want to say, and I'm always scared about saying the wrong thing to the camera. One thing that I learned about overcoming camera shyness is that you want to pretend that you're speaking to a friend, which is what I'm trying to do really hard right now. And I do think that this video is one of my better videos, to be honest, because there are a lot of videos that go to absolute shit and then I record it 3 times in a row. I spend an hour or two just on recording a 10-minute video and then I go into editing. You would always underestimate how much time editing takes, and this is just a rule of thumb. Like, editing never takes less time than you think, it always takes more, especially for long-form videos. I think I started with around being able to produce 1 minute of content with 1 hour of editing. So if you see an 8-minute video that I post, that would be 8 hours of editing for me, and sometimes even more because now you also have to do the thumbnail, and sometimes you want to put in a timeline, a description, you want to find royalty-free music and all of that. It takes so much time. So that's why it's also this long-term and compounding effect, and that is what you get from posting on YouTube. It's because you don't necessarily see results from doing that much work within the first year or two. But if you look at Mr. Beast, he spends the first year getting 1,000 followers too. Back then he was posting Minecraft content, which is nothing related to what he does now. But again, it's about consistency, and it's about doing it when no one sees the work that you're putting into it. It's when no one can validate you other than yourself. So another thing, I keep on saying another thing, but this is just another thing about being a small content creator, is that you need to establish a feedback loop that works in favor of you rewarding yourself, or you telling yourself that you've done a great job by just putting in the inputs. It is seriously really hard to keep yourself motivated and encouraged every time you post when you're just getting barely any views or 200 views or so. That is why I think that diversifying your content, posting different types, and seeing what works first really helps, especially with the early days, because now you can see what type of content that your audience promotes and the algorithm promotes, so you're not always stuck with that one type of content that might not work, which I've done a lot. And even until now, I think I still don't make content that's very, I guess, like virality oriented. There's a lot more frameworks that I can use, and I think especially after the first year, I am more inclined to do things that get me results now, because I just want to grow this channel bigger, but also do some content for other people. And so there are many different reasons why right now I'm looking for more of that like viral content style, but these long form videos are usually just to build up the brand, help other people who are on a similar journey as you, as well as keeping yourself accountable by sharing your journey and building in public. It is not an easy path whatsoever, for sure. I don't even know if it's gonna work out in the end, because many people say that you just keep posting and eventually YouTube will work out for you, or just posting content on TikTok or Instagram will work out for you eventually. To a certain degree, I do believe that, but this time frame is just really uncertain, and it's almost like unlimited, so you never know when it's going to work out. Might be 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road, and whether you can get there just really depends on if you have the time to wait until you can fully monetize your content and take it full time and that sort of stuff, which not every person can. But another recommendation that I would give to any beginner content creators is to also try out UGC content. This is when you post for other brands, but you post it on either an account that they ask you to make, or you just send the video to the brand that you're making it for and they post it on their official account. And you can charge $50 to $150 if it's just for one singular video to begin with for UGC content. But sometimes I have ongoing deals with especially consumer apps. That's something that I kind of specialize in now since I've worked with a number of brands. But with those, you can charge for $15 to $25 for one video as a base rate, but then it's an ongoing collaboration where you can post for them every single day. I think that this is also a good pathway for beginners to try out, only because it gives you a little bit more experience and opportunities for trial and error when you post for a brand and they have a very specific message or they have a very specific intention of promoting a product. You can practice how you can sell, how you can make better videos for them instead of only using your own portfolio, as well as just getting some income as a side hustle in addition to that. I think there are a lot more lessons that I've learned from posting 365 videos in my first year of doing content creation, but this is all I can think of right now. And truthfully speaking, a lot of the times once you stop recording, this is when all the thoughts come to mind, and this is when you're like, oh my god, I haven't talked about this, I haven't mentioned that. Another lesson that I learned from content creation is that post despite not being perfect. So this is an example of what I am doing right now. If you guys have any questions about my videos or my personal experience with building up my personal brand and content creation, please leave the comments down below. And if you would like to support me along my journey and grow together, please give my channel a follow. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.